You're tuned in to the New Old Heads podcast, premiered every Thursday at noon at bringingdowntheband.com and brought to you by No Bad Ideas, Coleman Dental, Printfinity, and Indie CD and Vinyl. Support the New Old Heads by visiting our Patreon at patreon.com/newoldheads.
Episode 150 of the New Old Heads podcast. I am Major 7. I make incredible beats, and 150 episodes in, them shits are still incredible. Sitting at the head of the table, former radio personality, voice of Indianapolis, master of ceremonies, the one and only Jay Moore. How are you, sir?
Doing well. Just happy to celebrate episode 150 with you gentlemen.
Yes, sir.
And not only is it 150 episodes, but it's 150 weeks straight.
People know this.
So, yeah.
I like this. Make sure,
Yeah, we got to let them know. I mean, it's one thing to get to 150, but to take no weeks off is a real accomplishment.
That's what you call commitment. Consistency, indeed. Across the table, rocking a fresh section leader's T-shirt. I see you. Ableton Professor, bringing down the band.
That's a pocket tee.
Yeah, it is a pocket tee.
They charge extra for that.
For sure. Founder of bringingdowntheband.com. Also, super producer. That's what I call him. My man, Lonegevity. How are you, sir?
Feeling super.
I see what you did
Yeah,
there.
you know. Doing all right.
Well
you know?
played. Good to see you, brother.
Yeah, you too.
Yeah.
150 of them, huh?
150 of them things, man, straight.
Bless you, Spoolz. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Across the table, fresh to death.
Somebody sneeze.
Yeah, somebody, I guess. Fresh to death, the head of Printfinity, also DJ Jay Diff. How are you, sir?
Great intro.
You know,
salutations, by the way.
I like that humbleness in you. Know what I'm talking about? I like that. It's good.
Yeah. I do some work with bringing down the band too.
Well, you
just
know,
a little bit.
Indeed. Y'all definitely spearheaded that mug. Lone Star that you came in and enhanced the brand. So
we definitely had
for that.
some very strong years of doing lots of things.
Yeah. Been putting on for this city for a long time. So salute to you, brothers, for that. To my left, DJ as well, the incomparable DJ Spoolz.
Hello, Michael.
How are you, sir?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Good to see you back from an eventful weekend for yourself, sir. A couple weekends, actually.
Yeah, it was. Got married.
Yeah,
Went
congratulations.
to California. Thanks, man.
Welcome to the club, sir.
Hey.
Appreciate it.
Out here putting it on paper. I like that.
Feels good.
He still was out there repping. He still was out there repping for the parks, too. We saw you. You know what I'm saying? See his T-shirt right there.
The mountains are going climb. I can't read that. The mountains are calling and I must go.
Yosemite.
John Muir.
Yosemite.
That's one way to say it.
Yosemite.
Yeah.
You went to
Highly
Yosemite.
recommend
It could be Yosemite.
You guys
Yosemite.
ready to get real deep on some national parks for a
Hey,
little bit?
Yeah, we got about 20 minutes. Let's.
Yeah. Yes. Spoolz definitely reps for the parks. So good to have you back, brother. Glad you
Thanks,
had a
man.
great time.
Thank you. Appreciate
shout
you
out.
guys all for coming, too. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
It was
Reception.
fun. I know. Like
Good times.
when it's actually your wedding, everyone says the same thing. Oh, it was kind of a blur.
Yeah.
But you know, look, I stayed to the end. I didn't take home any chips and queso, but
Shit, we had a whole
but I
vat
did.
of it
Man.
over here.
Over here.
I still have some queso.
Yeah.
It's probably not in
Well, no,
anymore.
I drank
Quazo. Sorry.
Quazo. Okay.
I
That's
drank
the
a bunch of
correct
Capri
pronunciation.
Suns. Those were
Yeah, I
good.
saw
Yeah,
you.
you had. I think I made a comment. I was like, Jay Moore's on his 17th
He,
Capri
he had,
Sun.
he had
Put
his
them down.
feel of the apple flavored
Yeah.
Capri
Yeah.
Suns.
It was
He definitely was putting them down. My two takeaways were Mr. T being played by West Side Gun, his reception. Who does that? That's incredible. And then Graphic T. Greg.
Booger eater.
Yeah, it's a gentleman that chose to, instead of putting lettuce on his plate, just put his hand in the whole
No, he
damn
put it on
lettuce.
his
Let's
plate.
just be clear,
After he
too.
he pulled
This
it
is
out of there.
A gentleman that had a graphic tee on.
Yeah.
That
so,
we then put the name Greg on.
Yeah.
Yep. So he's Graphic T. Greg.
Yeah.
Don't
Nasty
know who this
motherfucker.
person is.
Yeah.
It's
There
a
were
caricature
tongs.
at
There
this
were
point.
tongs adjacent
To every
Adjacent.
Yeah, you didn't have to put
The,
your hand in the lettuce, fam.
the vestibule
Yeah.
that had lettuce inside of it,
Yeah.
but he decided to use his hands.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's nasty ass.
Goddamn booger eater.
Yeah. Too damn old for that Graphic T. Greg. All right.
Well, aside from that, I hope it was a good time.
It was awesome.
The thing is, like, you don't know who that was, but you're related to him now because it was probably somebody
Yeah,
on the
either
other
way.
one of your in-laws.
Not, man.
Just show us the pictures. We'll point them out.
Yeah.
He's probably in there.
Yeah, he's probably in.
Okay.
On the low though, Graphic T Greg, if you are watching, subscribe, fam, hit that bell. We appreciate you. You know what I'm talking about? But
wash your hands.
Yeah, that was some bullshit.
Okay.
Well, maybe he came straight from washing his hands. We don't know.
So you felt his hands were so clean he could just dip them in the lettuce with impunity.
Yeah.
Well, I just give him, the
With
benefit.
impunity.
All right.
Well, thanks for coming and being
Like
there,
that.
guys.
Hey man, thanks for
Good
having
times.
us. It was a good time. And
Yeah, I enjoyed myself.
yeah, man.
Well, it was good seeing everybody too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's
Got to see Scoot Dubs. He fell
came
through.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
And,
was good.
You know.
Saw Bob, the ghetto Bob Barker.
Yeah.
2
Wow.
weeks in a row.
Yeah.
So shouts to Bob G.
The homie Clinic was in there. J.O. was in there. Metronome, DJ Metronome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was a good day, man.
Yeah, it was a good time.
All right, so
Say word.
say word.
Word.
Let's jump into some topics here. Now, I thought this was hilarious. I call him Uncle Shay, Shannon Sharp. He was having a debate on Undisputed with the one and only Skip Bayless. You know, they go back and forth. They cut up. And in the midst of that, Shannon let it slip, and he said, "What great rappers do you know come from Buffalo?" So apparently this went viral on Twitter, and all the Griselda fans from everywhere start going in.
Boom, 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 boom.
Right. So here's a tweet. Here's a tweet from Benny the Butcher though. He said, "Funny thing is, I just seen this ugly motherfucker
Damn.
like a week ago at the airport in Atlanta. I was the one with the big jewels you kept staring at." So they didn't take too kindly to that. I think he said Buffalo wings, the Bills, and something else is the only thing Buffalo was known for. So Westside Gunn had a tweet as well. I should have copied his, but I mean, bottom line,
He said he wanted to cop one of his jerseys.
so he called him an old head and was like, I should just cop one of your throwbacks.
You know what though? I didn't feel like it was too much of a diss.
No.
I mean, Shay,
His was a little nicer.
He's
than,
too old to
Benny's,
really
yeah.
know about them, honestly.
And
Yeah.
even though he didn't know and he didn't like listen and come back, like the problem with Shannon in this instance was the fact that he was like resistance to the fact of everybody telling him, no, you should probably know about these people.
like he kept responding
Oh,
to
really?
people going at him. Like,
Oh.
It's one thing not to know
Yeah.
because they're still relatively new. They're not really
And they're-
mainstream.
No.
but
no.
what he said, I think the essence of what he said is correct because to your point, they're getting there. They're getting to the point where it's like, okay, we know those guys are from there. But even if it was me, I still would have been like, look, if there are rappers out there that are from that area, y'all feel free to put me on game. Like, just let me know.
Say you
Yeah.
ain't know, cuz.
Just like,
Say you ain't know.
it's definitely a regional diss.
100%.
Like, oh, there's nobody good from this area. Like,
Yeah. I didn't hear anything.
How
from
far
Conway.
is Buffalo from like New York City?
Good question. I do not have the answer
It's
for
a
that.
decent
but perhaps I
amount.
can
4 or
Google
5
it.
hours.
4 or 5
Yeah.
hours.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
Yes.
I've never been up there, man. Never been.
I've never been to Buffalo, but
it's by
I was-
Niagara, isn't
yeah,
it?
Yeah,
Believe
close
so.
to Canada, all that. But
it's more north.
yeah.
It's more west.
But I
Buffalo.
think I wish I could have looked at some of the tweets from. I didn't see any of the fan tweets, but I wish I'd have put up a couple of those because I, heard they was getting at me.
Questlove responded.
Oh, word.
And he was like, "This is not it."
This ain't it.
He was like, "You might want to look him up." Alchemist said, "Hey, Shannon Sharp, I heard you're a Griselda fan."
Oh man,
So
awesome.
Hey, that's pub for them though. So
it
Oh,
is
for
pub
sure.
for them.
It's great.
Yeah, like I could definitely see Westside Gun like going to get like a Broncos throwback and just rocking that shit and going on IG and talking crazy. Like that's right up their alley.
yeah.
I forget who it was, but somebody said, "Well, congratulations, Shannon Sharp, you just made their next album."
Man,
So
They
Yeah.
got to like make him into like a piece of art with like an extra eye up here.
yeah.
Or might make him have a for real pony face.
Oh
Or some
man, they
shit.
do
Somebody
say
will
that,
do
don't
that. I think a lot of their art comes, from their fans.
Yeah.
Like they get submitted.
And it'll
Oh,
probably
yeah.
be called since they use clothing, it'll be called
What's
Purple
it?
Label Polo or some shit.
they? Yeah.
He'll be the
Yeah.
horse.
well, he did play in the Broncos. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed.
So
Just
we
give me my
That's what I
residuals
was
if
about
y'all
to say.
use that.
Yeah. Yeah, just sponsor the podcast. Something, send some bread,
Sponsor podcast.
merch.
You can merch.
Yeah.
Somehow get us a deal.
We're trying to rap.
Yeah.
Not
we-
even rap, man. Just the podcast deal. I'm cool on the rap.
We need a deal for Terry's album.
yeah,
Yeah. We need to meet with Hov. Actually, get the Rock Nation.
man.
Well,
So-
it just goes back to basically what everyone said, but this is just a larger kind of what we can tie this into something larger. there's nothing wrong with saying, "Oh, I didn't know," or "I don't know." Like I remember there was Tiffany Haddish, who had just won an award, and they asked her some question about like, you know, the patriarchy of Hollywood and and what about the Me Too moment? And she was like, I don't know. And I thought that was, and like people were like, oh, come on, you got to do better than that. But like, she's like, I'm a comedian and an actress. Like, don't get me wrong. I realize these problems are things that have been around, but like, I was happy for that level of honesty for someone to just say, I don't know. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with saying, I don't know.
There's nothing wrong with not knowing.
I don't really think nobody care, mine.
Well, I mean, we also have, I mean, not to get too deep into this, but there's also a stigma in our society around saying no.
Yeah.
In general as well. Mm-hmm. And so that's kind of factored into it as well, you know. But.
Yes, man. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah, I was. I agree, though, man. You can just stop and say, "Oh, word," and then like check it out or be like, "Oh, I didn't know," and stop it there. But yeah,
see, now it's not gonna feel the same. Like if he do an IG post playing like the plugs I met or something, that would have been so dope for them had he not continued to go on.
It'll still be dope if he does.
What if he's got his yak and Black and Milds and he's listening to Mr. T?
That's a win for everybody. Yeah, that's a win for culture.
Well, all he got to do is hear LeBron listening to him, and then
he'll do it.
I'm on these miles and this yak, and you got a problem with me.
Yeah, 100%. If Bron do it
with me.
I remember the first time he did it, like, I can't remember the name of the female, like, basically facilitator. She was like, did you get these from Rite Aid? What are these? Like, it's like, these are not cigars.
That was Joy Taylor, Jason Taylor's
talking
sister.
about the Black and Milds?
Yeah, she was dissing him on that.
Yeah.
Shouts to Rite Aid. It's like a Southern thing.
Yeah, Rite Aid is, it's like a
CVS.
That's interesting.
Walgreens.
It's like
and that's not where you get the good cigars. I'm just letting you know that
right now. Are there knockoff Black and Milds out there that I was unaware of?
He's like, I'm on this yak and these wood tips.
You got to get it from the Piggly Wiggly.
The wood tips are the truth, though. Mm-hmm. Like the wood tip Black and Milds are dope.
I think it's dope that Snoop always bring him something when he come on the show. He give him a bag or something. He put everything out on the table.
Does Snoop go on the show often?
He's been on there about 3 times. Yeah, he's
gentlemen. You know, just people in general bring things to people. You know
what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is.
Like
Maybe
that,
I'm tripping.
So, yeah.
Big collection of stuff.
There we know.
Snoop.
Doot.
So let's get to this next one. This is a ruling that came down, I think, September 4th about Biggie and Lost Poets.
Last Poets.
Oh, Last Poets, I'm sorry. Why do I always say that?
I don't know, because it's pretty consistent.
I think I just said that earlier, too.
I'm tripping. I apologize, because they had some dope stuff. It says a New York federal judge has ruled the Notorious Big, B.I.G., and subsequently Rita Ora were within their legal rights to use the phrase party and bullshit in their music. It says, according to Billboard, Judge Robert Katzman handed down a ruling on Wednesday, which was the 4th, that determined using the words didn't constitute copyright infringement. So Big dropped Party and Bullshit back in 93, the track which contained samples from When the Revolution Comes and a remix of the Party and Bullshit phrase. After 1997, when he passed, the state licensed the phrase to Rita Ora. She used it from some joint in like 2012. But it's crazy that they finally got that, cleared up, because that was one of the joints that got big,
It was on the Who's the Man soundtrack.
There you go. Oh, my goodness. That's throwback.
Super throwback.
I have it on 12-inch.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because this was when it was on, Big was on the MCA before the whole Bad Boy deal.
Who all was on? I ain't mean to go off topic, but damn, I'm thinking about that soundtrack now.
Pete Rock and
so much
Smooth, Mary J. Blige. Let's see. There was so much on there.
See, the movie was like par, though. I don't remember the movie being cold.
Wasn't nothing to take to the bank.
Yeah, I don't remember the movie being cold.
I don't know. It's one of those good ones that comes on cable at like 3 o'clock. You'll be like, oh, yeah.
You might watch it just...
kind of good.
Yeah, you'll watch it just to bring back some
Who's the
memories.
Man? It was like the movie with Ed
Dr.
Lover
Dre
and
Neville. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I like that movie.
Mad cameos. A lot of cameos.
I like that movie a lot. What's his name is really funny in it. Dennis Leary.
True. Yeah, Dennis Leary.
He's like flipping out about his name is Dr. Dre. He's like, my brother spent $100,000 to call himself Doctor.
Then Bernie Mac was in that.
Yeah.
Bill Bellamy.
Yeah.
Bill Bellamy.
Like it's like they grabbed everybody who was on Yo MTV Raps and Def Jam and put them in a movie.
Is Fab Five Freddy in it?
Yep. I do remember him.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but it's one of those movies when I was probably like aged 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I probably watched it like 40 times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good back then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it in a long time.
You
Not-
probably
not
see it
hold
now,
up so
like,
well.
damn.
Big
That
Les
was-
was in it. Remember Big
Shout
Les?
out
Big
to
Les.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Big Les.
I follow her on Instagram.
Yeah.
She's
Oh, for
still
real?
Big Les.
Yeah, she still looks
Still
good.
Big Les.
Yeah.
Big Les was cold. Slept on, I would say.
She
No,
was
she
the
wasn't slept on.
silhouette or the actual dancer from In Living Single at
Yeah.
the beginning.
That's
Oh,
what
that's
that is.
right. For the behind the curtain. Well, no, she wasn't behind. It was on the top of the roof at the end when they do the
In
cutaway.
the 90s kind of world.
Glad I got my girls.
Word.
But yo, that's crazy that they actually got this squared away. But shout out to
Well-
the estate for. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, no, I mean, one of the things, there's always, is it copyright infringement or is it fair use? And, I remember Ghostface Killer with pieces of the Iron Man sample.
Yeah.
Like, of course, years later, they tried to come after him for that when, Iron Man had hit big in the MCU. And they're like, well, wait a minute, this sample on Supreme Clientele, like they waited that long to try to come after him. But
They did the same thing to Dre, too. Dr. Dre had sampled some on, I believe, the Chronic 2001. And they, sued him.
it was like the THX sound.
Yeah.
at the very
It was
end.
something else, too.
Yeah.
It was another song. I can't remember the song, but somebody finally figured out that they used their song 7, 8, 9 years later.
I think
and
that's
then
okay.
sued 'em.
I mean, fair use is more so related to unintentional stuff. So if have this podcast right now, right? Let's say it's live, this wall is in here and it's a fucking festival in the background.
Right.
And some music is playing in the background that we're not even paying attention to, or we can barely hear it.
Right.
But it gets picked up. That's fair use. You know,
Right.
it's not intentionally using something for something that you gain profit on.
Yeah. This goes out to everybody that writes on their posts, I do not own the rights to this music.
Yeah.
Motherfucker, we know.
Yeah. we know you don't own the
I
rights.
want to challenge you all to.
And Facebook
to-
doesn't care.
Yeah, I want to challenge you all to just post the song and not say that and see what happens. The exact same
Same thing.
Yeah.
Well, I will say this for everybody who's a DJ who's listening, because on your Instagram, they might do it immediately. It might take 9 months to 2 years, and you'll see that. Say you're DJing, and while you're spinning, it will take one of your videos off of Instagram. Now, most places that do have any kind of live entertainment, they have to pay a certain amount of money to these publishing companies like BMI, ASCAP, CSAC, and you can put it in as fair use. So every time I've gotten that, because of course when I tape anybody who's, whether it be a Treese or a Take That Tuesday or Tiki Bob's, I've gotten so many strikes, but I've been able to appeal them all and win those appeals.
But that's legitimately fair use.
Yeah. And,
You know what I
and
mean?
but the thing, there have been some that the only one that they just took down and I didn't get a chance to appeal it was of all songs, Take Me On by Aha. And they stopped that immediately. They just erased it. But I've been able to get songs by Prince and Jay-Z and New Edition, Michael Jackson.
I've never had anything removed from posting anything on Facebook or Instagram. It always give me an alert that the video is okay in these many countries, and it'll list 30 or 40 countries you good in. It's all right.
No,
Are any of
let's
them
go.
the United States?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's good.
No, but that's the thing. If I know I've talked to a few other DJs. It was they take my videos down. It was if it's worth it to you and you care about displaying your talent in that way, then this is how you get that your videos reposted. It usually takes about a week.
Interesting.
Manual review. A lot of times it's manual review versus so it's an automatic. A lot of times it's not somebody saying, "Oh, they're playing Jay-Z song in the background." It's getting picked up by automatic digital fingerprints and stuff like that. So then when you do that, what happens is it's a manual review of what that is a lot of times, and then they will be like, "Oh, yes or no." So with a manual review, they can actually get in there. Same way with YouTube.
I don't own the rights to this music.
You hate that, don't you?
Like I hate seeing that.
I'm glad
this.
I'm glad to see that Biggie, rest in peace, won this, because it didn't seem like, I know that song, the song "Party and Bullshit" well, and we just listened to the Last Poets thing beforehand, but it just sounded like a nod to them, almost in a way, or something along those lines. So, yeah. I mean, it's not like they directly sampled that.
No.
And like made that the, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, the focal point. It was Biggie's rapping is what was the focal, so. It's always a fine line though, I guess. Or maybe not so fine.
I remember when, actually with Big, like this takes me back to the first time I actually saw the Juicy video. Like around, like all this talk going back to that time frame, and I remember, you remember they did the retro joints for the Bad Boy jerseys, the yellow joints with the cursive across there, and I remember seeing that joint, and my initial thoughts were, okay, dude, nice, but I was like, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know how far this is gonna go. We have to wait and see. I remember having that initial reaction, knowing he was cold, but I was like, okay, this is cool. I like it. He nice. But I remember when they did the remix, the One More Chance, with the club scene, the apartment scene, him sitting on the steps and all that. And I was like, yeah, it's a wrap. Because I remember that whole first album. When that joint came out, I listened to the whole thing front to back, I don't know, X amount of times.
What
like y'all
was you listening to it on?
Huh?
What were you listening to it on?
I had remember the old school
the dual cassette
with the CD player that popped up on the top.
Oh, you
remember that joint?
I had the same thing, but mine was like vinyl on the top.
Then none of y'all had the AWA. Remember
what?
the AWA
That's
home
what,
stereo?
Is that what
mine
that
was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Them mugs was ready for the bedroom.
I feel. Hey, do y'all remember? Do y'all remember y'all first initial thoughts? You know what I'm saying? When you saw Big, like when you were introduced to him, like I'm talking about just period. Like that stood out to me.
Not really, because I was so into hip hop at that time.
Yeah,
I was just trying to take in all of that shit.
Just anything. Yeah.
So I didn't really single out one person until I actually heard the album, because that was during the time where you had to buy an album in order to hear the whole thing. See what they coming with. So you would get an album, and the best song on there, some cases, would be the one that's on Yo MTV Raps or, The Basement or something like that. But when you get that one that's jamming front to back, that's what solidifies them. It wasn't just seeing them on, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was actually being able to hear the whole thing and rip that plastic off.
I think people now, and it's just evolution. Like, we used to get, when you would get it, like you become one with that project. Like you said, you rip it open. We reading the credits, production credits.
Oh yeah, because you living with that album.
There you go. Like now, it's like we hear joints come out, and it's like, damn, okay, what comes out next? Like
you can
what?
move on to
24
the
hours
next
later.
one.
There's no
if you just
investment.
spent your $15
There's
on
no
that
investment.
one CD, and that was what you either worked for, your allowance.
Yeah.
Right.
Then you gonna live with that album, and if it's a good one, you really gonna rock with it. You know what I'm saying? So
that his word is long. Talk about investment, no investment with it. I think that's well said.
There's no emotional investment in a lot of music these days.
Yeah.
Everything's here today, gone tomorrow. So like, it
And
could be an
physical.
album that came out last Friday.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Not a problem.
There can be an album that came out last Friday.
Yeah.
And of course, you say it all the time, how people Christian into a
24-hour classic.
24-hour
Yeah.
classic
I hate that
immediately.
shit. Yeah.
And then it's on to the next one. If it's a classic, you would still be riding to it for months and months afterwards. You know what I'm saying? So back then, we had to live with that music, so it's a little different now.
Well, let's take that. I want to take that and I guess spin that to, and I'm coming to you, Spoolz. Take Biggie out the equation. Is there an album that you were connected to that you can remember, like to Terry's point, going through the whole process, becoming one with that album, always rocking that album to the point where you just knew a whole bunch of shit on there backwards, or you know the routine?
Liquid Swords is the one that stands out the most.
Okay.
That was the one that front to back I knew, and
Favorite joint on there? Mine's Shadowbox.
Oh man, I don't know if I have like probably Fourth Chamber.
Yeah, Fourth Chamber. That was a joint.
I'm not mad at that.
Shadowboxing's really dope too. Bible is on there too, which
Basic
is really
instructions before
Just
leaving
kill a
Earth.
priest.
Not mad at that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
So
the one
like-
that stood out for me.
Liquid Swords. What about you, Jay Moore? Give me an album.
I can just tell you when
Spice
Doggy
Girls?
Style finally came out.
Yeah,
What'd he say?
I would agree with that.
Like I had I was fresh off still having my I had my driver's license, so I'm
Yeah.
able to move around and
Yeah.
have my music in my car.
Yeah.
And I remember leaving school that day, and I went to Sound Warehouse on Manchester Road. I mean, I remember the details.
Okay.
Oh man, Willie Manchester. Where
Went to
I used to-
got the Doggy Style tape because no CD player in the car, no
Okay.
CD player in my room, so I was still rocking with the tapes.
Yep.
And I was with this cat Anthony Roberson. We drove around listening to that whole album front to back, and we were like, "This is it." I mean, this is as good as
This is good as it's
we
gonna get.
expected. And I remember getting home and breaking open the liner notes. And if you remember, if you got Doggy Style, that first pressing, like everything was out of order.
Yeah.
There were songs listed on there that weren't on there. If you got that first pressing, you also got the song G's Up, Hoes Down, which had a sample that wasn't cleared, so it was taken off all subsequent pressings. And that night, of all things, I drove to my church youth group,
Look out now.
like bumping Doggy Style. And then my boy Ben was inside, and I was like, "Hey, man, let's go outside for a second." And we played... my mom would be so disappointed. We played Snoop Doggy Dogg's Doggy Style in the church parking lot. But it was such a good album. I had to go ahead and listen to it right then and there.
With your
And
sinning ass.
I know. We were just
Heathens.
the Lord know my heart though. The Lord know my heart.
Clearly. Okay. I ain't
Do you
mad.
remember the Ghostface album where the track listing was wrong on the back? What album was that?
Track listing was wrong.
Is that Bulletproof Wallets?
It might have been. I don't know.
Because there was a bunch of songs that wind up not being on that album.
That's right, because the Sun.
The Sun.
I
I
The
think the
Sun
Wa-
was one off. I know that one. Yep,
Good
that-
Times.
There was like 4 of them.
Yeah,
actually.
there was some really great records that wound up not being on that album.
Yeah, that would have been he might have actually continued his
His streak, yeah.
streak if some of those songs were actually on there.
The Sun
Yeah.
was cold.
Bum,
I fool-
bum.
Give me an album, Lone. Give me an album that just.
2 stand out.
He said one, motherfucker.
But
Wow.
if I was going to go to one, I would probably say Slick Rick, the art of storytelling.
Aha!
I can dig it.
99.
I remember when you got
Not
that.
Slick
Yeah.
Rick. Street
Yeah.
talking.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was on the album.
Yeah.
I know that entire album.
I remember when he got that album. We
Yeah.
listened to it together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it was my joint on there, Frozen, with Slick Rick.
Yeah. Raekwon.
Or Raekwon. Yeah, there was a video for that. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a good one. And that one and Black Stars, Respiration.
Respiration,
With Respiration got me into that, and I was like, yo.
I'm not mad at that.
If I did
sounds
a
good.
second one would be Tupac's All Eyes on
See what you started.
Man.
You know what?
See what you started.
It's
You
all
know
right,
what,
though.
though?
It's all right, though.
If I went,
Or
if
Wu-Tang
I go
forever.
back before I was like really into hip hop,
Yeah.
what year did that come out? That
Which
album?
one?
96.
Yeah, it would have to be. That was probably the first one for me.
All Eyes on Me.
Yeah, because the double disc.
That's a great album, man.
It is.
But
I know you gonna
when
say
I
that.
came back, and
Yeah.
stuck, it was those 2 albums, and there's actually Inspector Deck's
Uncontrolled Substance.
Uncontrolled Substance.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are
a
the
good
3.
album.
Well, no, I remember with All Eyes on Me, it came out the same day as the Fugees' The Score.
Yep.
Oh, really?
And, yeah, I remember just
You talk about a good album.
going to
Great albums.
my roommate at the time, my freshman year, Benny Holman. We went to the mall, and like I think he bought All Eyes on Me, and I bought the Score.
You stole the score.
I didn't steal nothing.
Okay.
I had money in my pocket.
Oh, excuse me, brother.
And I think it was like Valentine's Day. Like that
Oh,
was,
you was
but-
baller.
Yeah, but
What's that got to do with it?
I mean, he probably had a date
Celebrating
set up.
Valentine's Day, you gotta have that,
Date
you know.
set up. You know what I'm talking about?
but
Okay.
the thing is, like everybody was
Control.
anticipating
Out of
All Eyes
control.
on Me because of the hype, but like we were blown away by the score. Like people forget how good that album is.
Yeah.
It's
I
good.
believe one of, if not the highest selling hip hop albums of all
So
time.
the score, Score's got, I think, has a diamond next to it. So
Jay Diff is one of the biggest Pac fans I know. He was
Mike,
like,
Google that real quick. Highest
See.
selling hip hop album.
yeah,
of all
see, let's see
time.
what the score did.
give me an album, man, while I look this up.
I actually agree with Doggy Style. Doggy Style was the first album that I bought that I didn't have to get from my brother.
Okay.
So my brother was 7 years older than me, so he bought everything. So I would just go in his room and grab whatever I wanted to listen to. When Snoop was coming out, that lead up to Snoop coming out was just so big. I mean, he was on Arsenio Hall. He was on
the first cover of Vibe.
First cover of Vibe. He was on the soundtrack to Deep Cover. It was just, everybody was looking forward to it. So I copped that cassette tape from IRC Records in the neighborhood.
Okay.
And went home, played it on my Iowa bedroom radio system.
I wonder what happened to them.
I don't know, but
They were popping.
that album was the truth, though. I mean, from front to back. He's telling him how to use a computer. How about that? But Doggy Style definitely.
I see you.
And if we're throwing two out there, because I know y'all said Me Against, not Me Against the World. I would say Me Against the World.
All Eyes on Me.
All Eyes on Me.
Yeah.
Personally, just because, I don't know, it's just at that time.
You biased?
No, I'm not biased. It's just, it's related to a lot of things that were going on at the time. So I kind of identify with that album a little more.
I think I was in like 5th or 6th grade when All Eyes on Me came out. So Me Against the World was a few years before that, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
So I would have been mad young listening to Tupac.
I think I was
That came out in
a
94.
freshman. I was a freshman in high school when
So I was,
Me Against the World came out.
6th, 7th, 8th grade.
Oh, wait, that's not right. 96? No, I
Yeah,
would have been in
I was-
8th grade.
Yeah.
Never mind. I'm lying.
No, but I
No,
mean,
you wouldn't
that's
have
the
been
whole
in 8th grade, 'cause
thing.
I was in 9th grade.
I was a
It came
freshman.
out in 90.
I was a freshman in 97.
It came out. Me Against the World came out in 95.
Was it 95?
End of 94. End of 94.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Into 95.
because he was locked up when it came out.
Yep.
And
but that's-
MLB, drop that, man.
That's just a crazy thing. Well, and it just goes back to for this new audience of people who listen to music, and maybe it does work differently for them, but because we actually sat with the packaging and had to actually live with these records, it really does mark time. Like I can remember, what I was wearing and what girl I liked, and what I was driving. Like I remember I had a 87 blue Mercury Sable. That's what I was riding around listening to Doggy Style in.
Yep.
Because I was just invested in the music like that. So I
wasn't
think
even
that's
old enough to drive yet.
That's funny.
Mike, what you're looking at's outdated.
I remember the girl that I liked
Sorry about
when I
that.
bought Equipment.
Bad article.
So, I mean, it's... You read articles on the show?
you doing your taxes, Ness? Is that what's hot in the streets?
I had asked him. You don't have to look it up anymore, man.
Yeah, you gotta do your taxes.
Y'all,
But,
y'all finished or y'all done?
I didn't know Speaker Box Love Below was that successful, man. 11.4 million.
You didn't know that?
I did not know it sold
It
that
did
much.
count as 2 rounds sold.
Sway.
I'll take it though.
That
I
shit went diamond.
diamond. Marshall Mathers 10.6 mil. Life After Death 10.2. Shout out to Hammer 10 mil. I ain't mad at that. Rest
What
of
we
it
think
doesn't
about Hammer?
I don't care.
The score is 6.1 million.
I was wrong about this.
No, I thought it.
Did you say that was the highest selling?
Might be
I said
thinking
one of, if not the highest.
Might be thinking of worldwide numbers because that was an international album.
Yeah.
Doggy Style 5.5.
I got the score from Target. Target.
I got a lot of music from Target, actually.
It was good. It was priced well too.
I remember my friend bought
Dang
Wu-Tang
karma.
Forever from Target.
How much
and we
it
put
cost?
it in.
It was
and it was
the
like
edited version?
It was like, it's Wu mother. We're like, no, you taking
Take that
this
shit back. Nah, it's funny you say that because I had my homie buy Jadakiss' first album for me because I was at work. So I was like, hey, go cop that Jadakiss for me. And then when I get off work, I'm gonna come grab it. I went and got it. It was the edited version. I'm like, nah, I gotta take this shit back. I can't even hear this shit right.
It was crazy. That would kill the whole vibe of
It
an album,
did.
man.
It's like, man, what the fuck
entire
is this?
vibe.
Somebody gave me Wu-Tang Forever because I didn't like it.
Wow.
Man, what's
Somebody I
up?
used to work with. I was like, all right. He gave me a whole bunch of like CDs.
That's how I got Kanye West's first album.
Oh, word?
I went over to my homie's house. He had just bought it. He was like, man, I don't like this. Like, I'll take it.
He had an early version that had, some extra joints he was
Nah,
working on.
it was the same album.
Oh, it was the.
It
You
was
sure?
because he
It
went
was
in and
College
actually.
Dropout.
He had some joints that didn't make College Dropout. Is
No,
what I'm saying.
this is when College Dropout came out.
The official copy.
Right.
It was an
Okay.
official copy. I'm over at my homie house.
Yeah.
He was like, yeah, I don't like that album. You can have it. I was
Wow.
like, bet. I hadn't bought it yet. So,
Yeah.
there we have it.
I rock with College Dropout.
Definitely.
Yeah.
See, he part in the Red Sea now.
I couldn't even watch that. I'm sorry. I just y'all a little too excited.
He was like,
I was
watch,
gonna ask
he was like,
you
watch
about-
this.
This is my city.
He was like, hey, all extra. Hey, it's my city.
Watch
like-
this.
Fam. You being a Kanye fan, I know you're, one of the biggest Kanye fans I know. You wear that mug too. I respect it.
All right. I don't know if that's a good thing or a
It's
bad
cool though.
thing.
We talking
It's
about.
just-
I know
it's weird.
it's cool. I have a question
right.
about that, but I'm gonna pay these bills first, and I'm coming to you about that. So shout out to Bringing Down the Band as always. This is the hub for us.
Yes.
You can find everything you need there. Printfinity, one of our partners as well. Jay Diff runs that. So support the homies, support your local businesses. Shout out to Indie CD and Vinyl as well. They continue to lace us with wax, so we appreciate their partnership. No Bad Ideas. They continue to keep us fresh, always rocking the merch, so we really appreciate them. Dr. Coleman as well. Rod Ripple, make sure you get your teeth is right. What's that number alone? He doesn't know.
We said don't worry about it.
I'm still going to got to
30
get it right, man.
episodes ago.
Got to get it right, though. Got to get it right. Just look the
317.
number up.
Do your Googles.
You know, you
Could you-
yeah,
Thank
Do
you.
your Googles.
Thank
have a whole
Spoolz.
computer in front of you.
Facts. All right, so
Work in front of one every day.
so back to Kanye. Now, did you see the live stream? Do you know anybody that
I didn't
went?
watch it.
Okay.
I know he's got an album coming out. That's all.
Yes, an album coming out in like maybe 2 or 3 weeks.
In a
Yeah.
church.
It has a entire gospel titling and listing, I guess. So
That's
called
what our man
Jesus is
Eric
King.
was asking. Is that what he's about to put out? A
Yeah, it's
gospel
called
album?
Jesus is King. I think what's his wife's name?
Kim
Kim-
Kardashian.
Kim. Yeah, she had tweeted
West.
listing of songs that are supposed to appear on this album.
Shout out to Eric Wilson, our patron.
yeah, man.
So is Chance on this album a lot?
I
didn't
don't know.
even see
He was
any
at
features
the
listed.
performance that he just did in Chicago over the weekend.
Yeah,
Gonna
he
do a
was
song
there.
about his wife.
I mean, you say
Not
The
on
gospel.
whole
church-
album about it.
Not on the church
You
album.
say
Like to
gospel
hear it,
and
here it
Jesus.
go. Huh?
Yeah.
You said gospel and Jesus is the first person I thought of when you think of rappers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's I'll be curious to see how this goes. But my question for you is just the concept, right, of Sunday service.
Mhm.
Where are you at with that? Is this genuine? Is this marketing to lead up to an album? Is this to fill his
I mean,
ego?
it is an album.
Absolutely marketing. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's what I was looking for. Like,
But, you know,
go ahead. I ask you. You think it's just what's your
I think
thoughts?
it's a mixture. I mean, for him, it probably started out as therapeutic to him.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, anything that people do that are in the limelight is looked at under a magnifying glass. So he initially started doing this in the middle of nowhere, but Kim always tells on him. So she had recorded it and put it out there. Now everybody's looking for it. But that was probably orchestrated as
could
well.
have been planned.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That probably was orchestrated as well. I mean, you're married to one of the biggest Instagram influencers out there, so obviously. But I mean,
That's so 2019.
Sorry.
if it's him healing and becoming a better person, then shit, I'm not mad at it. But I mean, at the same time, he is a rapper, an artist, whatever you want to call him, and he's gotta do his thing. So that's part of it. That's how I look at it.
Longevity.
Yeah, I don't care. I mean, like I don't know. I mean, what Terry said is valid, but no, I don't know if I just don't get caught up in that stuff, man. It's like I'm curious. Like when I saw him out there, did you guys see the meme where it was like the fake scripture to join Jesus, the cult?
Nah,
Il Brown. I
Oh,
think
yeah,
Il
yeah,
Brown
it was
shared
Did he
that.
go?
Nah, he shared what he's talking
Oh, okay.
about though.
But it was just like you have to acknowledge God as God and that Jesus is God, and a whole bunch. It was just this really funny.
yeah,
But yeah, I don't know. I'm always curious what his sound's gonna sound like. I wouldn't say that I'm excited for it.
right.
You know, he's a talented dude. He's always gonna be a talented person, so I'm interested in it. But I don't know the whole part see Moses thing. I mean, hey.
Do y'all think he really meant for it to look like that? Or
Yes, everything.
Yeah,
he does is
100%.
calculated.
I think that was planned. If you ask me,
Yeah, I don't know about the shot and everything, but what he was doing while he was walking, that
Come on, man.
definitely looked like it was.
The motherfuckers was moving out his way.
Yeah, I mean, I think they would have, even if he didn't have any hand gestures. You
I
know
ain't
what
moving nowhere. Shit.
Huh?
You gotta say excuse me when you pass me. Care who you
Well,
are.
that's
You
how it
would have
should
made
be.
you would have made Jesus tell you.
Yeah. I was standing here.
Okay. Like Lily. I feel you. Jay Moore, talk to me about Sunday service, man. What's your
Well, I'd have stole on him just so, because I like to impart a little bit of humbleness and everything. No, I'm just kidding. Trust me, there's probably somebody who would have jumped right on me if I'd have done some stuff.
Oh
like
yeah, that's who he
How
told to
dare
get
you
out of
hit-
the way. The
how dare
dude,
you
the
hit
security
Jesus?
dude.
Once again, I'm that cynical part of me just believes all this is about ego and about a rollout.
For an hour.
Because, okay, yes, he has this whole religious theme to it, but every time I'm listening to Sunday service, it's all like Aaliyah songs and house music, and I'm like, this is just a place for you to have
jam session.
Talented people
to his credit, though,
sing songs that you aren't talented enough to sing on your own.
Some of these joints are reworded from what I heard to have a more gospel, I guess, appeal. Now, go ahead.
So he getting his Kirk Franklin on.
That's it.
Yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Even with that, I mean, like, now, mind you, I just told a story about how I listened to Doggy Style in the church parking lot. So I'm not the one to hold up a pious mirror to anybody.
Plot twist.
But
what's the name? Snoop had a gospel album. Go ahead.
Oh yeah, sure did. Won a BET award.
Gospel
for that.
artists on there as well.
Yeah.
It was that energy that you put out listening to Doggy Style in that parking lot. It finally caught up to him, and he put that out there.
See, everything comes full circle.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
It's a circle of life.
But I just when I hear Sunday service, of course, it just means something different to me than you know, having a choir sing R&B songs from the 90s that you really liked. So, I mean, that's fine. If there are people, music is just, it's a spiritual thing regardless of the subject matter. So,
agreed.
If you can take a positive vibe and energy from it, then, you know what, more power to you,
Yeah.
But at the same time, this is a part of a rollout and part of a music promotion. But if the tickets are free and you want to go have a good time and you know what it is up front, but just I don't want to see people jumping up and down and shouting because they heard, a gospel choir sing a Tony Braxton song. I'm just not here for that.
Well, you know that tour is about to be stupid, dumb, and people are going to be losing their goddamn minds.
And they'll be also buying $250 T-shirts with God on the front. And
Dresses.
That's it.
It'll be a long ass.
Be with holes in it.
Long ass shirt dress.
And be a small picture of his face in the bottom corner.
And they're going to be like, yeah, that's the part y'all don't understand. That's 10 years ahead mentally. Y'all just ain't ready yet.
Yeah.
$350.
Maybe it is if that's what happens to our brains in 10 years with technology.
Spoolz, any thoughts on this?
I hope the music's good, like when it comes out. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll give it a listen, and I know he just bought like a big mansion out in like Wyoming or something like that, or a big ranch.
Yeah, I did see that.
Tons of property, man.
Which is awesome.
Yeah.
Good for him.
That's where he
That's
wanna live.
that's National Park land.
He likes
baby.
parks.
It's near Yellowstone.
Yeah.
He's got his own park.
Yeah.
Sure.
Kim ain't going out there. Just like,
No.
remember,
She
he
ain't
said he
going
was moving to Chicago.
I
Remember
didn't
that?
believe that either. Yeah, I didn't believe that.
But no, I hope the music. I'll give the music a listen, and yeah, that's that, man.
I have zero anticipation for the project.
I don't-
You
I'll
say that
listen.
about
Not a
everything.
Kanye
that-
West
that
fan
comes out
per
like
se.
that, so.
Yeah,
Never have.
I don't care. Yeah, I'll listen to it. I'll
You
get
care.
to it. I'll
You'll
get
listen
that's
to it.
Skyzoo and Pete Rock. I'll
You'll
definitely
listen to it
that.
as soon as it comes out. Talking
No, I
about you'll
won't.
get to it. Come
I
on,
didn't-
Mike.
I didn't even listen to
Mike.
the Bipolar album, which
Mike.
was trash.
Who are you
Y'all had
talking to here?
Y'all had to force me to listen to that.
That's not true.
Yeah.
That is not true.
And I'm just like, Lone, I haven't listened to it since.
Dude, you literally will listen to something just so you can tell somebody else on the website that they phony for putting it at this high.
Nah, I just that
Am I
album,
lying? Y'all?
I listened to the album once.
Can anybody attest to what I just said?
I mean, you did listen to Young Thug's album, so you could give Kanye's a listen.
I
You know
now
good
that's
well.
a good point.
You know
now that's
good
a
and
good
well
point.
he's
That's a
listening
good
to Kanye
point.
West.
So
That's a good
Friday morning.
Okay.
And plus, I'll be
can't
honest, I
wait.
listen to all of it just so I make sure I know what I'm talking about when I
Yeah.
shit on it.
He wants to poop on it already. The
I'm just
poop.
saying.
What they say, fair shake, man. Fair shake.
Yeah, I'll give it a fair shake.
Yeah. fair
But
shake.
I'm not gonna like.
I can't wait.
I'll find my way to listen to it at some point.
That's
There
what
ain't
I
really-
Like run to it.
There's not really a whole lot of shit that I can just say I can't wait to hear now.
Yeah.
It has to
can't
damn
wait
near
to
jump
hear
out
it.
and surprise me.
I can't wait to hear the Griselda Shady album. The What Would
I'm
Machine
looking
Gun
forward to
Do?
that one. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
I'm really looking forward to that.
Skyzoo and P-Rock also. I'm looking forward to that. Speaking of that, let's see. Tito's back, Conway, featuring Benny and Westside Gun. This shit is hard to me. I don't have anything else to say.
That's the
Dope
prelude
production.
to some other Conway project too, I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I think,
Yeah, I remember when it came out. I just don't remember what it's on.
Is that Derringer or is that Derringer produced this one?
I think it's Derringer.
Yeah, I think
I
it
see
is.
when he got mad at was it Vlad?
Yeah.
They kept asking him about Alchemist.
Yeah.
He was like, "Why you keep asking me about Alchemist when I keep telling you who our producer is?" And they work with Alchemist too, right?
A lot.
So speaking of Alchemist, there's another song that came out on Alchemist Yacht Rock 2 that features them.
Word.
West Side, and I think he just talks on it. And it's Conway and Benny.
That
Or maybe
is
it's another one. They've dropped like 3 joints in the last 2 weeks. I can't remember which one's which, but
That is Derringer on the production, by the way.
on that one, yeah.
Yeah, that shit was hard. Everybody heard that, y'all? Y'all
I
heard it
have
too?
not heard it.
Yeah, it's dope. It's good to hear people trading off verses. You know, like Styles and Jada used to do. I don't hear that often, so it's real dope to hear Conway and Benny go back and
Pooh and
forth.
Fonte did it.
Yeah.
They did do that on the last joint.
Yeah.
Did
Yeah.
y'all see that interview?
Yes.
Which one?
Well,
They've done a bunch.
They've done a lot. I just watched them on It's the Real.
Maybe that's
I
the
don't
Or
think it
real
listened
was
to
that
them.
I know. I know they were speaking about why Ninth wasn't on the album.
yeah.
Ooh,
I
now
did
that
s-
was some shit.
I did
Yeah.
see that one.
They said he was definitely invited to be a part of it, but it just wasn't working out. And they also went on to say that this is their best album that they've done.
Yeah, they said there were 2 reasons that he wasn't a part of it, though.
He said he
wanted to
wanted
have-
to do just festivals.
No,
Well,
they also
is that
said
the one?
that the sound he didn't want to.
So this is
he
the
didn't
first
want
part.
to advance the sound. So him and Pooh being Fonte and Pooh
Yeah.
wanted to kind of move forward with the Little Brother sound as far as advancing it, making it sound a little more ready for now.
I didn't
and
hear
I'm
that
guessing Ninth wanted to keep it more back in the day.
He wanted
See.
to produce the whole thing is what
part.
I
Well,
heard.
that's
the way
what I
understood
heard.
it.
I heard he
Okay.
just wanted to do the whole thing,
Yeah.
and he didn't want to have any other producers on it.
That's what I heard.
And so they sat on some beats, and I think they said they made like 3 or 4 tracks.
That might be what they
And
mean
they-
by
and they-
wanting it to sound more.
Well, I think originally that was the mindset Ninth had, was like, I want to produce this. And then I think they said they had like 3 or 4 joints, and
that actually were going to make it.
well, they said after listening to them, 2 of them were like, after they made it, they thought it was good, and they were like, eh.
Yeah.
And one of them they did like, but then the other part is what you said about the festival stuff.
Yeah.
Was he just wanted to do like festivals and wanted DJ Flash to be a part of it, and Pooh and Fonte were like, nah, we want more of a commitment than that. And so it was like twofold, really.
And they actually made a good point by saying that they've been Little Brother without him
They have.
longer than.
Yeah.
And I'm
With.
like, damn. Then with him, I'm like, yo, it's a good point.
The interview that I listened to today, Fonte and Pooh were joking, but they kind of said like it really hasn't been like all Ninth as a part of everything since the listening.
Yeah,
I believe
they
that,
said
though.
that same thing in the interview that I listened to as well.
I believe
So-
that.
Because Ninth didn't even do all of the minstrel show.
No, Crisis was on
Yeah.
there.
So
Christ has actually got one of the best joints on the album
Yeah,
that he produced on the listening. I mean, not listening.
Minstrel
Watch
show.
Me. Was it
Watch
Watch Me?
Me, yeah.
Watch Me that was my ringtone back when you did that with ringtones.
Wow.
they said Crisis is on the new album, right?
He is.
Yeah,
I think three joints, I think.
yeah. So
Yeah, that's
don't know.
interesting. They said it was no beef or anything.
no, they wouldn't come in like that, but they pretty much was going at all the cats that were saying, "Where's Ninth at?" And I don't really like it like that because Ninth ain't on there. And to what you said, he has not been involved with Little Brother for how many albums now? 3 or 4.
Left back.
This is the
Get
fourth.
Back.
Well, third.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Third joint.
and that was one of my points when we first initially talked about it too. Was
That's not talking mixtapes either.
yeah,
Right.
he wasn't there, so it'd be nice if he was, but
Yeah. So I feel. Yeah, that's interesting.
I guess I'm in the minority outside of obviously what we talked about, but that's the one thing that I continue to hear is, man, it just ain't the same. I'm like, that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
he
they're
said that on an
trying to
album.
do something different. What song was that?
I don't know.
It was on Get Back, I think.
Yeah, he was like,
but that's the
It
point.
don't sound the same. He's like, motherfucker, that's the
That's
point.
the point. Like, I have no problem with the sound. I don't. That's why I wasn't trying to be disrespectful when I was like, he's not missed. But I have no problem with the sound. Like, I'm cool with how that album sounds. I'm perfectly fine with how it sounds. That's just my opinion.
It's cool to see that they're friends too.
yeah,
Yeah.
That they become
because
closer.
he tweeted out the album and stuff when it dropped. So
Well, I mean
shared
more
it.
so Pooh and Fonte.
oh yeah,
Yeah,
'Cause
because they
it-
didn't speak for a while.
yeah,
They went to
they
him.
spoke on that too during the interview.
Yeah.
Like, 'cause I remember when Fonte was here for a 𝗂𝗄𝗓 show, like, and he was kind of hosting that.
I remember that.
And, he just didn't even want to hear Little Brother records played.
Yeah.
Like, that's how,
He said he was over it on some things
Yeah.
I've listened to. So
yeah, so that's how the whole experience had just kind of left him. Like, there was a while, the three of them didn't speak at all.
Yeah,
For years.
Yeah.
Like, and you always think about groups when we hear groups, go through issues, and you think we look up at the groups that we grew up listening to them, and you start seeing as they get older, people start falling out. Like, it tripped me out when I saw Rappaport's documentary, when I saw Tip, and Fife, like, actually coming to blows. I'm like, yo, what?
yeah.
Like, I can't even.
yeah. We
wrap
knew
my mind
surface
around that.
problems, but
Yeah, not
actually
that,
seeing
though.
it happen was a little different.
So,
Yeah, like
and
that tripped me out.
Real quick, the Conway project that this song is leading up to is called "Look What I Became." It comes
That's
out
right.
Friday.
Nice.
That's right. This Friday?
Yeah, 13th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. Friday. Oh, it's perfect for them. Friday the 13th.
I'm on that. Yeah.
But,
Good looking out, Spoolz.
But it's because when you talk about Tribe Called Quest, they're not a group of guys that were put together. They're like childhood friends.
Yeah,
Like,
they grew up together.
but that's a thing when you're friends and you wind up having to be business partners.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was very the thing I was listening to today brought up in it, and I can kind of relate to this as well. In the past, with me and Grits when we worked together too, like we've always been close. But Fonte talked and Pooh talked about how like they were always really close, but their closeness was all based around music,
Right.
and so like there's a difference between like a working closeness brotherhood and like a friendship.
right.
And I was like, I could relate to that. I was like, yeah, because me and Clarence have made a lot of music.
Facts.
But shoot, we stopped talking for a while. Just I think mostly in general was just because
Because
we
y'all
were
lived together.
we were around each other for so long,
Yeah.
and then it was just like when I see him, it's cool. You know what I mean? But it wasn't like a close friendship.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
They also in one of those interviews spoke on their connection to YB and Cordae and Drake, because they talked about how he actually did some songs with Drake
Yeah.
for the first album, and they didn't make his album. And then that's when Drake was like his influence or this, that, and the other.
I
He was
see.
like, well, shit, you should have put me on the album then. You know what I'm saying? But now they spoke about YB and Cordae. I guess they used to work with his mom. Used to sing on certain stuff with them. And
who's his mom?
she's not nobody that like. She probably just did like background vocals and
vocals.
things like that.
Not
but-
like Carlita Durant or
Yeah.
something like that.
nah. But they were saying that once he came out, there were issues. Not issues, but they were saying, is he from North Carolina or
Maryland.
Maryland? And they were talking about how they had connection to his mom, so he had spent some time there. That was just cool to hear, I thought.
That's cool.
It's always neat to listen to see how close knit a lot of the music industry really is, relationship wise, and how people know each other.
Yeah, Cordae is he's somebody I got my eye on moving forward. I think I would list him as what I call one of the younger rappers that gets it. Like I like
What
him
does
a
gets
lot.
it mean?
You're able to craft an entire
That's
album,
Mike's favorite
sequence
thing
it.
to say.
Yeah, you get it. Like, I mean, the shit is high quality music.
Yeah.
It's thought out. It's well executed. Everything is sequenced properly. The production is solid. Bars, lyrics, great songwriting. Like, he just understands.
Little Brother song featuring YB and Cordae.
That'd be dope.
I definitely think he has, if not the best, one of the best albums of the year so far, in my opinion.
It's pretty good.
I'm not mad at that.
Anybody listen to the Razzcast? Soul and Ice too?
He told me about it.
I did. You know, I wasn't sure just because, you know, sometimes Raz, he's an incredible lyricist, but is just not really consistent sometimes. Even the records that I think are really good, like the original Soul on Ice.
Yeah.
You know, I love that record. And what's crazy is like it's hard to find like a physical copy now because it was out
It's
of
a
print.
classic. I
Yeah.
would say.
And he's always been a real cerebral cat. Like you had to like really be into trying to listen to lyrics if you wanted to be in the Razzcast. It just wasn't about the beats.
I'm a Razzcast fan for sure.
But this is definitely where, you know, because he speaks on, you know, the political climate. You know, he's got some hard-headed shit with Snoop, you know, but, you know, he's got songs with
You
I think
said it was a
Styles
lot
P.
of features. I
How
heard
was the
one Styles P.
production?
The
Guns N'
production
Roses.
this is where sometimes it always failed him, where I
He's
think
got some names on this one.
his production was not as good as his lyricism, but this time around I think it matches. Like he even has stuff from the Justice League, you
Justice
know,
League,
the cat who did
Heatmakers, I think.
who did
Oh, word?
who
I ain't
did
know he
the
had Heatmakers.
Maybach Musics, like
Yeah.
so this is some high end, like this isn't just him picking beats off the internet.
Oh, they're good. Yeah,
Yeah.
the production is good.
That's
So
dope. I'm gonna have to check this out.
That
man.
intro-
I would tell anybody if you're even a little bit of a Razzcast fan, you need to get
Yeah,
involved with
Just
this
press
album.
play on that
been
intro and let
off,
that come in because that
yeah.
intro is hard.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah,
Kind of off the grid for like a week, so I need to.
yeah. So
Y'all got me curious about this one.
no, you
I
should
haven't-
definitely check it out.
I've heard spot joints. I haven't heard the whole
Yeah.
thing. Obviously, the Guns N' Roses track, which I think is the one that features Styles and Lil Fame.
Little Fame. The song LL Cool J with Snoop.
Snoop's,
That's
yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I'll take that.
But the intro, I did go back and listen to the intro, and that stuff is that's a nice one.
That's
Did we ever
what's
talk
up.
about Snoop dropping a new album?
I like Snoop's new album.
Do you?
Yeah,
What's it called?
it's solid to me.
I can't
Oh,
remember, but it came
I Wanna
out
Thank
maybe
Me.
a month ago.
I want to thank me. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's solid. Good production. He has a few features on there. I wouldn't say maybe feature heavy, mostly singing appearances, but it's some heat on there. It's solid. I would classify it as solid. I definitely would run it. Got some good West Coast music on there. Good vibe.
You guys familiar with Suff Daddy?
Yeah.
He's dope.
Heard of him.
Yeah,
he's
producer. He just put out a remix project today, actually called Remix Boy.
Nice.
Knowledge put out some shit too.
Oh,
Yeah.
word. Okay.
His 400th project on Bandcamp.
Yep. I usually always get like an email or something like Knowledge dropped a new project and I go check it out.
It's always like called a whole bunch of stuff with random dots
Numbers
and
and
numbers
shit.
Oh,
and
word.
random places and yeah. Shouts to Knowledge.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Him and Anderson .Paak need to do something else.
Please.
Not a remix album though.
Yeah. They got good chemistry.
They do.
That works. Yeah, that definitely works. All right. Did I leave anything out you guys want to mention?
I mean, a lot of fuck shit didn't happen, but
Well, yeah.
it's neither here nor there.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'd
But
like to mention a show
Yes, sir.
Friday, tomorrow, involving, let's see, Zion 7, Peter Hayes, or P. Hayes, Black Eddie, and Nappy Newt.
okay.
Okay.
Music by DJ Shawshank and the Clinic, Friday the 13th. It's at the Healer, or at Healer. I'm trying to get the address. I don't know if it's on one of
Yeah,
these,
we
but
played a show there.
yeah. Where's that
A
at?
couple months ago. It's
It's out
East side?
east.
it's like east of Fountain Square, kind of
Okay.
southeast a little.
Yeah, so Friday the 13th, doors at 8, I believe. That's the fam out there doing their thing. So.
That's a very interesting video.
Good looking out on that.
Yeah.
Very interesting video.
Moonchild's going to be in Chicago on October 4th
I really contemplating going up to see them.
because we did put that interview out finally.
I can dig
Okay.
it.
I mean, we had
Little brother be in Chicago here pretty soon too.
That's true.
Yeah.
Like real soon.
Yeah.
Choices.
Like how soon?
Like
Like
27th
end of this month. So
Ooh.
is it the end of this month?
let me double check, but I
You
think
might be
I think it's
right.
coming up.
I think it might be the 27th of this month.
sounds like a road trip.
Shit.
The Metro Friday, September 27th.
God damn
It's
it.
coming up.
On
That's the
week-
last Friday of the month, ain't it?
Nice.
Sound like a road trip,
I
man.
can't go.
Hip hop
Huh?
night.
Hip hop night.
That's when we were supposed to do though.
Oh, y'all ain't
Oh,
gonna
that's
do it?
Nick's show.
But now
ain't
we're
it?
not now.
And Nick will be here.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Damn, son. Why y'all ain't gonna do it? That'd have been a
Practice time.
good
Practice
lineup,
time.
man. With y'all,
Yeah,
Meek,
just
P. Ray
practice
gonna be
time.
on that.
is he?
Time.
Yeah.
Yeah, we couldn't get in like a good solid practice this month, and didn't want to just kind of wing it. So
31 in advance, 36 day of, 46
Well,
VIP.
I can't make it, so
We don't even want to hear about it.
I give a damn about them prices.
We do got a wine after work Thursday today,
Okay.
so come mess with us if you ain't messing with the
rooftop.
Mary
We
J.
got
Blige and Nas concert.
We got good weather, so we're gonna have the rooftop. You know, have a drink. I might have a cigar.
What else you got
You know.
going on,
Nice.
Jay Moore, before we get out of here?
Yeah, I got that, and the same night of wine after work, I still have Tiki Bob. So if you want to get wild and loose, college
With
your
the
boy.
youngins.
And then
get
of
loose.
course got the Casbah Friday, and every Tuesday. Can't forget about Take That Tuesday with me and DJ Metronome and a rotating group of guests who will come in and do their thing.
Say word.
That's right.
I can dig it. I think that is going to do it for this episode. Make sure you go to our Patreon /New Old Heads. Get involved with that. Also go to Bringing Down the Band's YouTube page. Subscribe and also hit that bell for notifications. We appreciate everyone that's been rocking with us through episode 150. And we will see y'all
Thank
next
you.
week. Peace.
Holler back.